What is going on, everyone? Welcome to episode 80 of Littleroot Lessons. As always, I'm your host, Carter Noble, joined by our fantastic co-host, Carl Wilkin. What's up, dude?
Not a whole lot. I've been playing a lot of Pokemon Unite here lately, and Spyro for some reason. I bought a video game that wasn't Pokemon, so it's weird.
I saw that you've been that you picked it up, and so as a result, I've been playing a ton of it. My game backlog is so backed up right now that I'm not buying anything new, at least until Diamond and Pearl come out.
This was a purchase of just opportunity more than anything else. We were at Vintage Stock up in the city, and they had a Labor Day sale or whatnot going on. Buy so many pre-owned things, get one free. It's like, well, Kayla had a couple movies, but she didn't want any other movies, so it's like, well, I can just pick up a game. It's going to be the most expensive thing, but yeah, it's fine. I ended up picking it up. It's been fun.
Yeah, my game backlog right now, my game backlog is absolutely absurd. It has... I actually made a thread on my phone at one point of just like things I'm going to play before I buy anything else.
Oh, goodness. I need to get back into Hades at some point. That's a game that's been put on the back burner for a while now. What else?
Evidently, I don't have that anymore, and that upsets me.
Uh-oh.
Oh, there it is. Let's see. I have Doom. I have Snap I still need to beat. And I bought Cuphead like 2 years ago, and I've literally never played it.
I have
and that's like
a whole bunch of games still that I haven't touched.
And that's, ignoring all the, like... That's not counting anything I have on the PC, because, Epic Game Store gives out like a free game a week. So I have a ton of those that I've added to my account, but I've never downloaded.
Yeah.
I
mean, they're free, might as well, right?
Yeah, exactly. I think the only one I've actually downloaded and played some is Torchlight 2, which I actually really enjoy because, like, Diablo 2 is one of my favorite games, and it's like a spiritual successor for it. So, like, sure.
There's some Diablo thing coming out here shortly, isn't there?
Yeah, it's the remaster of 2, and I'm really excited for it. And then, Blizzard is an awful company, so I don't know if I'm even going to get it anymore.
Yeah.
So, like...
One of the favorite games of all time, and it's just tainted by the fact that the company is terrible.
Oh, dude, like, honestly, yeah. Yep.
So what are we talking about this week?
Today's just going to be kind of pretty laid back, and figured we could just kind of reflect on what the format currently looks like, and, what we would like to see changed, what we have been, like, working on to make said changes, kind of just talking.
Okay. Series 10 overall has been enjoyable for me, mainly because I like the gameplay of it. Not having to rely on Dynamax or worry about Dynamax all the time has been kind of nice.
I definitely agree with that. I love the return to basic Pokemon, like, at its core values. I've been playing a lot of the older games again, so it's like it's pretty great just to be like, all right, I don't have to worry about Dynamaxing or my opponent's Z moves or anything like that. It's a really good change of pace, to be 100% honest with you. And it's surprising that I feel like you and I are in the minority when it comes to that.
It seems to be that way. I know a lot of the Pokemon players that are like on Twitch or the PokeTubers have all kind of migrated to Unite as their like main content. Mainly because VGC just feels kind of dead. Plus, with the announcement that we're not moving to Diamond and Pearl remakes when they come out in however long now. It's like a couple months now, right? It's like only a couple months out. The fact that we're not moving...
It comes out November, so...
Kind of just like puts
that.
Everybody off of VGC, I guess. Because they don't know what's going to happen here for the remainder of Sword and Shield's lifespan.
Which, honestly... I feel like people are really upset that we're not going to Diamond and Pearl. And, like, I get it. It's a new game. We've always moved to the new game. But we haven't. Like, we haven't always moved to the new game. Look at Let's Go. I mean, granted, Let's Go is literally the exception to the rule, right?
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, Let's Go is such a drastic change to everything that had been going on around Pokemon around it that it wasn't a true, successor to the Pokemon games.
Yeah.
It's a very much a standalone game in the Pokemon universe. Whereas when comparing it to Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, there's a lot from those games that have been removed. There's a lot on the games in general that have been removed, you know?
Mm-hmm.
The lack of abilities, the lack of held items. There's a lot that's been removed from Let's Go to make it not a traditional Pokemon game at this point.
Yeah.
But I think this is going to set the precedent moving forward that these new games in the Pokemon universe that are remakes or, you know, revisions of previous games probably are not going to be the new standard for the competitive formats. And honestly, that's fine.
Yeah.
I really don't see why people are throwing such a big fit about this.
Because it's mainly because Sword and Shield wasn't the game they wanted it to be. That's what a lot of people I hear, like, when they complain about Sword and Shield, is it's not the game they wanted, and it's just.
But here's the part that gets me: it's the best-selling Pokemon game of all time.
Yep.
So, like, it's not the game they wanted, yet everyone bought it. So
the big thing is
you can't have both.
You hear the loudest complaints all the time. Those who complain all the time, those who are loudest, you just hear them first instead of... Bad press is what people look for. It's clickbait, it's things like that. It gets people's attention when you say, I don't like something, or this is not right, blah, 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 so on and so forth. It gets people's attention, and that's kind of where all the bad stigma from Sword and Shield comes from. Is just a small minority of the people of the population that have bought and played the game. And even a smaller subset of that is VGC players.
I can't remember who it was on. I read a post on Twitter the other day. I want to say it was Eeks, but don't quote me on that. Whoever it was said something along the lines of, there has never been a generation that I have seen a Pokemon from and didn't immediately go, that's a Pokemon. Like, specifically when it comes to Gen 8, there is not a generation that is more true for.
Mm-hmm.
So, everything creature design-wise from this game, I think is just an A+. I legitimately can't think off the top of my head of any Pokemon in this game that isn't just, like, stylistically a fantastic Pokemon.
Yeah.
But that doesn't translate to the competitive formats.
Yeah. Another big thing I think is what dragging down VGC is the fact that we had Series 10 super duper early. And granted, we didn't solve it super duper early, but it felt solved pretty quickly.
The initial steps as to what was going to be considered meta was developed very early in Series 10's life. Granted, it's really weird how Pokemon went about announcing it, giving it to us a month in advance, and as a result, Showdown gave it to us like 3-4 weeks in advance,
mm-hmm.
and as a result, everyone has been playing this for a month before it's even legal on cart.
Yeah, we're technically 2 months into Series 10. We would only have 1 month left. The rest of this month would be the end of Series 10. And no, we still have a whole another month after that before before Diamond and Pearl come out, and everyone's attention's going to be drawn away to that.
So the big thing to me is I think that people... it's weird because people complained for a very long time that they didn't like Dynamax.
Yeah.
So you would think that removing the thing that people don't like would make more people want to come play it. But, dude, again, this is all just my personal experience. I can't really speak for, statistical data or anything else because I don't have access to that. But
mm-hmm.
I've had more time waiting for a game. I've had more times of not being able to get paired up with someone on actual ladder than ever before.
So
My wait times are astronomical.
the funny part about that is the reason people aren't playing Series 10 a ton more is most of these newer Pokemon were balanced with Dynamax in mind. There was
That's
never
very true too.
Like Regieleki, Zacian, Zamazenta, Urshifu, all of these Pokemon were balanced with Dynamax being the gimmick and Dynamax being the powerhouse thing that you're doing. And when the Dynamax thing is gone, these Pokemon are just overpowered. And
so it makes me curious as to from like a consumer's standpoint, what is the correction point that Pokemon needs to address? Do they need, like, the thing I think is the most obvious is you need to design Pokemon in a vacuum. You need to design them to be playable or, whatever in their own, like, in the entire space of Pokemon, as opposed to this little snippet of the game.
So what you're saying is design the Pokemon over the broad spectrum rather than in the vacuum
Correct.
of said game. Okay.
Correct.
I was confused by your wording there for a second. I'm like, you just said the opposite twice. And
I knew what I meant, and I missed. Yeah, you are correct. Don't do things inside the vacuum. Design as a broad sense in the entirety of the thing, so that things like Transistor and Regieleki are, fine. Like honestly, they're fine. But when you're looking at things like Urshifu that are able to ignore,
just hit
protect,
you. Punch you all the time.
That's kind of obnoxious.
Yep.
Unbeatable? No.
No, by no means unbeatable. But it is very obnoxious, especially in VGC, where Protect is a big part of the format.
On top of that, you give it its signature move that always crits. So now it's a physical Pokemon that ignores Protect and ignores Intimidate.
Yep.
I think that's the point where Urshifu is too much.
Yep. And in Dynamax formats, we saw that Urshifu's actually fine. Like, it's not overbearingly oppressive like it is in these formats. Water Urshifu, I think, is still in the top 3 most played Pokemon of Series 10, and
it is. Yeah,
I'm not surprised. And
no, actually, it's number 4 behind.
Is it number 4 now?
Yeah, Eleki's at 35. Urshifu's at 30.
Okay, so they finally caught up to Urshifu. Urshifu's finally starting to see a downward trend, and that's kind of something I'm noticing in just ladder play in general. When I do play, it's the very top echelon is like all Zacian, Xerneas, all the big hitter stuff like Kyogre and the whatnot. But if you get farther down the ladder, you actually see all the experimentation, all the cool things that Series 10 could be. And
it's funny you mentioned that. On one of the ladder videos this past week, I'm playing Stall Eternus. I'm playing Cosmic Power Eternus. I have a pretty positive matchup against Water Urshifu. Like, sure, you can hit through my Cosmic Powers, but it's still a resisted hit.
Mm-hmm.
Dark Urshifu, on the other hand, being a neutral hit, is not great for me.
Just burns right through you.
And I ran into it twice in one video. So it's just like, well, I guess I'm just gonna lose. Yep. My team was based on beating these top picks, but the farther I am down in ladder, the more likely I am to run into unique teams. And honestly, I really like playing against the unique teams.
Yeah.
Especially in this format, man. There's been some wild things I've ran into.
I like playing the unique teams.
For sure. For sure.
Playing Zacian every single game gets kind of boring pretty quickly, in my opinion. I'm not the biggest fan of that. I played Zacian all through Series 8, and it is boring after a while. But when you go through and just kind of look at the format, it's just like, it's contradictory, because it's like, this is what people wanted, but now it's not what people want. So now no one's playing the game. The fact that
now people have it, they don't like it.
Yeah, I'm just confused by why people are like this, and how like we just can't win. It's like, and once we go back into a Dynamax format, everyone's going to complain about Dynamax again.
You know, I'm actually curious about that because, you know, from my point, you and I are very similar in this regard too, where Megas were obnoxious.
Oh yeah.
And you know, when you look at the casual fans, and even you know, a majority of like VGC players love Mega Evolutions.
Oh, for sure, because
I can't stand them.
It's just this busted mechanic, and it's permanent. That's the thing. It's like you both get a permanent kind of situation in that point. Whereas Dynamax can take over a game before anything else can happen kind of situation. It feels more unfair, even though it technically is more balanced than, say, like a Mega Evolution or a Z-Move. Z-Move, I think, was okay. Z-Moves are fine. And, like, it takes up your item slot and things like that, and you only get to use one. But it could definitely just, like, feel unfair for certain Pokemon because they have special Z-Moves and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like if all Z moves were just generic Z moves, I'd be fine with it. Or if more Pokemon had access to Mega Evolution, I'd probably be okay with that too.
Give my boy Flygon some love. Right? Is that too much to ask? It's you know, funny you mentioned this. I was looking at there's a ROM hack made by I can't remember the guy's name. I think it's Buffle. Mm-hmm. Who he made Radical Red, which is a very, very popular ROM hack right now. And he also made Inclement Emerald is what it's called. And it's like it's basically the same thing as Radical Red, but it's in the Emerald engine, but it's not up to date because he's currently still working on it. So it only has Pokemon from Gens 1 through 7, so he's still adding the 8th gen. But he's gone through and added these new Mega Evolutions to, like, Pokemon that he considers deserves it. Like Mega Flygon, for instance.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting. It's like, the fact that Dynamax can be done by any Pokemon, I feel like makes it more balanced than, like, you have to play these Pokemon for Mega Evolution kind of situation. Agreed. Like that. I like that Dynamax is more balanced in that form. It's like if you took Mega Evolution and applied the whole Z Crystal thing where everyone can do it situation. The only downside is there's no limitations to it. Like, there's no item requirement like the other two gimmicks do.
Mm-hmm.
And that's part of what probably makes people feel like it's unbalanced. I don't know. It's just, there's just a whole lot going on with Series 10, and I just don't understand why people don't like it. People are against it. Why everyone's kind of just quit playing VGC. It might just be more of Unite has kind of taken over as the premier Pokemon game right now.
And honestly, I think that does make a big part of it as well. I think, obviously, Unite is extremely popular. I'm actually, like, just to pull up some metrics here, I'm going to pull up Twitch. I'm going to look on Twitch right now just to look at stats. So
I can tell you right now, it's not going to be exactly how you think it is.
Sword and Shield currently has 3.9 thousand viewers. That is not a lot. Pokemon Unite, on the other hand, actually only has 3.8 thousand.
So I will tell you for free, Twitch lets you stream on Pokemon Sword and Shield no matter what Pokemon game you're playing.
Even under Unite?
Yep, you can play Unite under Sword and Shield too. A lot of these, what you see, a lot of the people watching Sword and Shield isn't actually Sword and Shield. It's usually the randomizers, the Nuzlocks, the ROM hacks, things like that.
That's also very true. Looking right now, the viewers high to low. The highest viewed stream right now is 360 Chrism, who's doing Heart Gold, Soul Silver, no XP. Yep. The next one is Renegade Platinum, and then the third one is Reversal and his 173,000 fishing encounters.
Go for
dude. I remember watching this.
Find the actual first VGC stream for Sword and Shield. Like, you're going to have a hard time finding it.
It's Eeks at 123.
There you go. Battle Room was playing earlier today for like 160 viewers. It's VGC, I guess, is just not a popular thing to watch. And now that there's something else to consume content-wise for Pokemon that isn't Sword and Shield, all the casual people are just hopping over to it.
Yeah, it does look like, just immediate looks here. All the ones in Sword and Shield are main series Pokemon games. Like I don't see any actual Unite streams here.
There might be some at the very, very, very bottom, but usually nowadays now that there's a different channel for it, a lot of them can just go to the other one and go and jump to the Unite channel.
That's very true. That's very, very true.
But the fact that there's 3.8 Unite and then the first VGC is only 124
should tell you everything you need to know there.
Yeah. Which I feel like that's what's going to happen when we change formats again in November and then Diamond and Pearl come out. It's just going to be, here's this new format. Oh, wait, here's these new games, too, that you're going to play instead of Sword and Shield. So that might be more of Pokemon's doing of, we don't have IRL events right now for VGC, so we're going to try and take the focus off of it and put focus onto our other comp projects we've been working on, Arceus and Diamond and Pearl and Unite. Which is kind of frustrating as people who focus on VGC. I can tell you there's a lot of people who play VGC and are just getting frustrated because they're not finding games or they can't match up on ladder. I know, like you said, you had a hard time getting paired on ladder here lately. My collab with Cloverbells, a lot of the time we took was waiting to try and find an opponent. And so we would record a game, and then we'd sit for about 5-10 minutes, and then record another game, and then sit for 5 or 10 minutes, and try to find someone. Sometimes we got lucky and got them back to back, but
very, very seldomly, man. Even like when I do the laddering videos, most of those are one shots, where I do very little editing to those. It's just cut out the beginning, cut out the end, slap it together, ta-da. But here lately it's like, all right, well, I'm sitting here for 5 minutes waiting on someone to get paired up, so
gotta cut out
obviously I'm gonna cut that out. And luckily that get time between games 1 and 2, I usually sit there and get immediately paired back up and start talking or searching for someone, I should say, and reflect on game 1. So that it's not just dead time in between, but even still, man, like vamping in between these games can be somewhat difficult because, I had to fill in anywhere from 20 seconds to 3 minutes if we're going to sit through it all, if not more.
Yep. I don't know. It's just, part of me wants to go and make Unite content because that's what seems to be what people want, but I also just want to stay on VGC because that's what we've been doing, and I don't want to have to change and grow a whole new audience for Unite.
Exactly. I am definitely not going to be changing my formats at all.
You are not a Unite player. Like you do not do well with Unite. Yeah. I am coming from a MOBA background. I enjoy Unite a ton, and it's my game of choice right now for sure. I do play VGC still. Like I played a little bit of laddering, like a little bit on ladder here and for play testing the Zygarde team and whatnot, and then maybe play test some other stuff and kind of grind for BP when we were doing Draft League. But outside of that, I've been on the Unite grind for most of the time. Just hit extra class 4.
We can't all be Evan and having 3 teams in Unite and
playing World Cup games and
on top
the
of
Draft
everything
League
else,
and balancing all that stuff.
Man, Evan does a lot, man.
Oh yeah, he does so much for us. That's why we don't bug him ever. We just let him do his thing. Like we don't ping him, we don't bug him. We just let him do his thing. He's a sub for my Unite match this weekend, or which would be on Saturday.
Gotcha.
He's unofficially a sub.
Yeah, I know. After my team went 0-4, it's like, you know what? I'm good.
Yeah, we went 2-2, and we are rematch of week 4 here with the games that we if we won this, we would have been playing them anyway. But win or lose, we were playing the same people this week, so that's just how it works, I guess.
Yep.
I've been enjoying Blastoise a ton in Unite, though. That's been my
I
go-to.
You know, I'm still doing like my dailies and stuff and playing a few games here and there. But for the most part, you know, I've been working on content and doing other things and trying to get stuff as much as I possibly can. So, I haven't had a lot of time to play, and honestly,
you're okay.
Not
with
really
that.
a game for me. Yeah, and you know, like you said, I'm completely okay with that.
Yep.
I am okay not spending all the time playing this one game.
Are you going to come back and play it more when we get Sylveon?
You know, yes. Sylveon and Mamo, both of them I'm a big fan of. So, and you know, I've played with all the Pokemon. Except for Blastoise. Blastoise I literally have not been able to play with because I haven't spent the hard-earned money to get them yet, and I don't have enough coins. Whereas when Blissey came out, I'm like, heck yeah, give it to me. Take my money.
Take my money. We're also saving up for vacation still, so
that's very true. Luckily this past week, you know, I worked the holiday and then I worked overtime, so like that check's gonna look real nice. And it's
what's
the check
holiday
right when
pay?
we go
I don't
on
know
vacation.
what that is. I don't get.
Oh,
that
let me tell you, man. Being union's great.
Yeah, I don't get that stuff. I work for a small business. I get lucky if I'm above minimum wage anymore.
Yep, that's the worst part.
Yep. What else do you want to talk about?
Well, man, you know, that did not take nearly as long as I anticipated. I honestly expected that to be the whole episode.
You expected us to rant about VGC for an hour and a half?
I mean, so, you know, looking here, just pulling up Pikalytics, you know, Ensign, Rillaboom, nothing really surprising here at the top. Amoonguss is now at 5, which is
neat.
Interesting. Zacian, Stakataka 7's interesting. Like, I know it's been on the upward trend. And,
Stakataka's... Let me tell you about Stakataka. Stakataka's freaking nuts. Stakataka is essentially a second restricted on a lot of these teams. It is that strong.
When it's good, it's absurd. I will definitely admit that. I have played my fair share with and against it, and if you don't come prepared, you get bodied.
Yeah, I've had Stakataka 1v4 teams. Like, It is that powerful. You get Trick Room set up on the right team, and your opponent doesn't respect it. Stakataka blows through teams like they're butter.
Let's see. Then we got Lando.
Like Incarnate, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Entei's ticking up. Scarf Entei is really popular.
Yeah.
50% of all Enteis are Scarf. Assault Vest is pretty popular as well. And then you run into some more niche items like Life Orb, Citrus Berry. The big three are Life Orb, Assault Vest, and Choice Scarf. All those are over 10%.
Yeah.
Seeing it a lot next to Cali Shadow, which I actually like quite a bit.
That makes
Cali
sense.
Shadow and Groudon, which I'm assuming this is just because of the Wolfie team.
The team you're 3-0 against?
Dude, I haven't been impressed by it. Every time I've played against it, I've just completely bodied it.
Yeah. And then you found the one variation on a theme, and it beat you.
Which, to be fair, the Groudon part of that team I felt like I was fine against. It was literally the Urshifu that, like, I just wasn't going to be able to deal with because I lost my one big check to it early. So, like, whatever. I did really like that team. I thought it was a very good iteration of what Wolfie had taken, and it had improved upon that. So, Let's see. After Entei, of course, we have Xerneas and Kyogre. Kyogre. Have you seen this lefties Calm Mind Kyogre set running around?
The bulky whatnot, just like sit there and set up mode? Yeah.
I hate it. I don't know who popularized this, but I hate it. It
Why?
is dumb, and it is stupid, and it shouldn't exist, and yet it does.
But it's Kyogre. It's not doing tailwind things. It means you can just blow it up, right?
No, that's the thing. Like, every time I've seen it, it's still paired with Tornadus.
So they just get to go fast and do Calm Mind things and then blow you up. Okay, that's fine.
So, like, if you lead incorrectly against it, they get to go fast and blow you up. If you do have, like, an answer, they get to go fast and Calm Mind in front of you.
And then you don't blow them up, and then they blow you up in return.
Yep.
I'm assuming it's like Calm Mind, Water Spout, Origin Pulse, Protect.
I've seen Ice Beam, Water Spout, Protect, Calm Mind. I've seen them drop Water Spout for Scald, and like just not play spread moves because a ton of people are now playing Wide Guard and stuff because when you have Stack Attacker running around. There's a non-zero amount of Wide Guards running around with it as well. So
I feel like the issue with that though is it's just like then you're like dead to every Redirector. You're dead to every Amoonguss, every Indeedee, because then they get to set up and you're just
that's very true.
You're just done.
I don't hate it. I don't hate like Ice Beam, Scald. I think Water Spout, like you could also just drop Protect and play like Water Spout, Ice Beam, Scald, Calm Mind. Because, like, Calm Mind means you're living hits anyways, and then Leftovers means you're getting extra recovery, so, like, you're going to be able to do big Water Spouts. Especially if you, like, Calm Mind once, Ice Beam and or Scald, whatever their big threat is, now Water Spout's going to be able to, you get that much more recovery from it, and then Water Spout just picks up the rest of their team.
Yeah. Did I tell you I ran into beat-up Justified strats on ladder?
You did.
In Ultra Ball of all things. In Ultra Ball. They were safety goggles, Justified Lucario.
Dude, that's the best part.
Paired with a Whimsicott,
the safety goggles.
a Mimikyu, and a Cali Ice. It is the craziest team I've ever seen. It had fast mode, slow mode, beat up, trick room, weakness
you
policy.
Name it, they were able to do it.
There's just all the gimmicks, one team, go. It was hilarious to watch it. We had actually removed all the Justified boosts. With Ensign just cycling in and out. We got it back to neutral, which was great.
Oh my lord.
But it wasn't enough because we ended up losing to the Cali Ice in the back.
Let's see. Looking a little farther down. Serena, typically paired with Kyogre.
Yeah, it's just like the best Kyogre pairing.
Actually, Kyogre isn't even in their like common teammates.
That seems incorrect because there's a whole team with it that everyone's playing still.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, oh wait, no, that's it didn't update when I clicked on Serena. So it was still on Kyogre. Yeah, there we go. Kyogre's its number one teammate, followed
that makes sense.
by less than a tenth of a point of Tornadus. So not really surprised by anything there.
Yep. Serena does real good when everything is trying to do fake out priority crap and you just tell them no, go away.
Cali Shadow. Anything you want to talk about there?
It's still really good.
It's still really dumb.
Yeah. Again, one of these Pokemon that are balanced for Dynamax formats that is just nuts.
Dude, we had the Showdown that came out yesterday. Spectrier was insane for me. Like, I commented at one point when Spectrier picked up a KO, I'm like, I forgot this has Grimnay.
You forgot it's a thing.
It's been so long since I've seen it, I forgot what it did.
Yeah. Glacier does the same thing, except Trick Room's terrible, so you don't get to see Glacier at all anymore.
And even when you do see Trick Room, it's like Stack Attacka or Cali Ice. So, like, do you want to use your restricted slot for it?
Exactly.
So, after Cali Shadow, we got Volcarona, Tornadus.
Not surprised.
Indeedee Female.
I want to talk about Indeedee Male. Because Indeedee Male is something that I've seen a lot more of, thanks to the Players' Cup 25th Invitational thing. And it's kind of cool just, like, watching, like, Trick Scarf things, and then you also have access to Trick Room, and all these other things. It's just so cool. It's like that Male Indeedee is finally getting a time to shine, because redirection isn't as necessary when there's no giant max moves coming at your face.
Yeah, that's very true. Have you seen the Life Orb Indeedee sets?
Like the Indeedee female sets?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they die pretty quickly when you hit them with a gyro ball.
Look, not all of us have Stack Attack on our team to one-shot everything, Carl.
Hey, play slower Indeedee females and you won't die to gyro ball.
That's very true.
Your tip of the day: don't play fast Indeedee.
Because then, on top of that, you're going to be able to set up your terrain on the lead against Rillabooms.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's hot.
Lander's
Stack Attack
can Oko Calyrex Shadow.
One more time.
Do you know Stack Attack can Oko Calyrex Shadow?
Brutal swing.
No. Gyro Ball.
Yeah, I'm not surprised by that either.
You Oko Life Orb Calyrex sets 100% of the time.
Yeah, not surprised.
Because they click Astral Barrage, you eat it, take like 25 to 30% depending on your spread, and then you Oko them with Gyro Ball. It is hilarious to watch them just like, oh, you're going to set up Trick Room, I'm just going to double spam you and try to knock you out. Fun fact, Stack Attack is bulky. Bang. It's so great.
After Indeedee, we got Landorus here. Landorus Therian. Most common item, Rocky Helmet.
Yeah, that's the common thing now, because everybody just wants to hit it. So you just intimidate it, because everybody's like trying to just blow it up with like rock moves, because that's what they carry now. It's weird. Landorus Therian has got a weird position because you don't want to run Scarf on it, because
you say that, but Scarf is the second most common item.
That's because no one else knows what to do with it.
And that's I think the biggest problem with Therian is, like, every time I've played against it, they're special, which, like,
yeah, or they're mixed.
Yeah, that's actually more common. It's like Earth Power, Rock Slide. It's like, oh no, you intimidated me, Earth Power Urinson.
Bop. Get him.
I've been playing a lot of P2 here lately. And let me tell you, the times where my opponent leads an Intimidator and I get to trace Intimidate on the P2 is disgusting.
It's great, ain't it?
I've still yet to copy Grimnay, but man, I've gotten Beast Boosts, and like those are always great.
Can you copy as one? I don't think you can copy as one.
Can you not?
I don't think you can. I think it's like the skies, you can't trace it.
Let's find out.
Because it's a super unique ability specifically to Calyrex fused forms.
Trace. Abilities that cannot be copied. Battle Bond, Comatose, Disguise. Evidently in Gen 4 you could copy Flower Gift. That's cool.
Neat.
In Gen 3 you could copy Forecast? Cool. That's weird.
I wonder how that works.
I don't know. You couldn't. In Gen 3, you could trace.
Okay.
You
Does
can't
that make
anymore.
an infinite loop?
I don't know. I don't want to find out.
I trace your trace, you trace my trace, I trace that trace.
That's
trace,
probably
trace,
all
trace,
it
trace.
does, is both of them copy trace, and then it says, okay, it happened.
But then I still have trace to activate.
Let's see. Let's see. So, according to this, multi-type cannot be traced in up through Gen 7, but there's not a check mark on this saying it can't be copied in Gen... Oh, it's not in Gen 8. That's why. I'm dumb. Power Construct, Power of Alchemy. Yeah, Aswan is not on this list.
Silvali's in the game. Type No and Silvali are in the game for multi-type. Oh, no. That's the
Multi-type
system.
is, Arceus.
Yeah.
They have RKS drive, or RKS system.
Is that one on there?
It is.
Okay.
You can't copy Receiver.
That makes sense, actually.
That one's weird. I actually didn't know that.
It's weird, but it makes sense.
You can't copy Zen mode. Not really surprised by that. Huh. Yeah, there's some cool ones. Obviously, Gulp Missile, Hunger Switch, Ice Face.
All weird.
What is Illusion?
Illusion is the Zero or Zorark.
Duh.
That's how Zorark does its thing.
Huh.
Yes, I'm going to find out that you're a Zorark by tracing Illusion off of you, which then transforms me into whatever. So then I am a fake whatever, but a Porygon too. Well, I know that you're a Zorark imitating whatever.
While a Pokemon with Trace is in battle, if at any time an adjacent opponent has an ability that can be copied, Trace will activate and replace itself with that ability. Even if the Pokemon has previously activated Trace, if it gains Trace again, ergo via skill swap, Trace will activate at the first opportunity. Trace cannot be copied by Roleplay, Power of Alchemy, or Receiver. Entrainment will fail if used by a Pokemon with Trace.
I mean, that makes sense because when you can't, they don't want you spreading Trace around to everything.
Mm-hmm.
Because that could make some weird shenanigans.
Fun fact, in the Pokemon Adventures manga, Blue's Porygon 2 has Trace.
Neat.
Alright. Thanks, Bulbapedia.
Appreciate it.
You didn't answer my question, but thanks.
Learned a bunch of new stuff. I feel like As1 is on that list of you can't copy that.
Yeah, it doesn't seem completely up to date.
I feel like it's just kind of got swept under the rug situation because it probably doesn't come up often enough. But
if I was a betting man, that probably is correct.
Because unique abilities like that usually aren't traceable.
Well,
what else is on that list you got over there?
Let's see. There's Urshifu.
Meh. We already talked about that.
Whimsicott.
I hate Encore.
Dude, I love Encore.
I hate it so much.
As a Whimsicott player, I love Encore.
Don't get me wrong.
Dumb.
I love Q-Tip, but I hate Encore. I just hate it.
You need to play more with it.
No.
That's what I did.
No, I'm good.
Feeny.
It's okay.
I really like the evolution of Nature's Madness in this format. The fact that now we no longer have Dynamax Mon, so it can hit everything, is pretty fantastic.
Yeah, I was expecting Coco more than Feeny to be the one to carry it, but since Feeny just since terrain is so hard to keep up, and Feeney's terrain isn't like the end of the world if it goes away, kind of situation, Feeney makes the most sense kind of situation. Like, if there was a terrain to just get overwritten all the time, I'd rather it be fairy than it be like anything else, because fairy's like the one that doesn't impact me the most, whereas like electric and grassy and psychic all boost my damage, and I want to keep them up.
I wonder, there's not a way on Picolytics to sort by, like, trending upward, right? I can do that on Babiri.
Babiri would be able to tell you who's trending and whatnot.
If I can get my internet to work, it would be fantastic. There we go. It only took me refreshing it 7 times. In case you were curious. And it's loading. Don't mind me.
I really love Pokemon I want to talk about.
So how's life? Let's see. Nihilego.
That one's okay. I'm seeing more of it mainly just because it's just like a real good fairy answer, but as Xerneas kind of gets pushed out of the format, we're going to see less of Nihilego because ground type coverage is just going to be back in the format.
Can you try to open Babiri on your side? See if you can get anything, because my internet's still just sitting there spinning. I got the 3 Togekiss dancing.
It might be down.
No, it's my internet, I guarantee it. My internet sucks, man. Zapdos. This is mainly because of, like, Wolfie's team here lately. It's definitely trended upwards. Interestingly, it's more common to be paired with Kyogre than it is Groudon.
Probably just for, like, mirrors.
I'm assuming.
That's all Zapdos ever does in Groudon teams, too, is for Kyogre teams, so.
Yeah, either way, I really like it. I think Zapdos, both forms are actually super underutilized in the current format.
I have Babiri open.
Okay.
Things we haven't talked about yet that are in here. Ferrothorn's at number 15.
Interesting. What do you think of Ferrothorn?
I think that you die to Incineroar.
I agree.
And Zacian can just blow you up.
Which is why you run Rocky Helmet. And then, they take like 7/8 of their HP or something absurd.
Groudon gets to do the same thing. Groudon can just heat crash you and just take you out, probably.
So looking over here on Picolytics, Kyogre is 58%. Like, Ferrothorn is paired with Kyogre 58% of the time. Not really surprised by that number.
That makes the most sense, right?
It's paired with Thunderous Therian 20% of the time.
There must be a team running around with that.
That's the only thing I can think of. Mimikyu, not really surprised by that. Toxicroak, so like you have like Ferrothorn, Toxicroak, Kyogre team. That seems kind of cool.
Yeah.
What else you got there, man?
You'll never believe it. This is the top 25 in usage. Dracovish. Mr. Vish is still running around.
I don't hate it. One mon that I'm actually really surprised has trended like downward is Dragapult. I figured it would be like really good in this format, and it's just not been seen anywhere.
Well, when there's things that outspeed you and hit you super effectively, it kind of sucks to be Dragapult. The reason Dragon Ghost was such a good thing in the early series is because there was no super fast fairy or super fast ghost to hit you outside of like Shadow Sneak.
That's very true.
And now we have Calyrex Shadow and Zacian, both of which just smack you.
I actually really like Dracovish as a like potential Kyogre counter because we get water absorbed. That's not the stupidest thing I've ever heard of. That's not the stupidest thing I've ever said. So looking here on Picolytics. I feel like someone's messing up somewhere. Because your most common items are Choice Scarf and Choice Band. Both of which are over 20. Choice Scarf is 51%. Choice Band is 22%.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have Mystic Water at 10%. Those are your top 3 items, right?
Yep.
Your top 4 attacks for Dracovish: Vicious Rend, Psychic Fangs, Crunch, and Protect.
Huh.
So either people are out here playing Scarf Protect sets, or there's enough teams that aren't choice locked that make up 32% of teams.
Interesting.
Which actually, looking at the math, is basically all that are not Choice Scarf or Choice Band. Which, I mean, that, I guess when you look at it that sense, it makes sense.
I'm looking at Dracovish teams on Babiri.net.
Uh-huh.
There is a dual weather team.
Love it.
It is Dracovish, Mimikyu, Politoed, Zacian, Tyranitar, Ludicolo.
I love it.
Who needs fire coverage? Who needs Intimidate?
Hey, my Babiri finally loaded.
Hey!
Let's see. Number 1 team on Showdown: Ensign, Groudon, Zapdos, Venu, and DD Female Stack Attacka.
Yeah, not surprised at all.
What is this?
Oh, the Shuckle team? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
What is this? Indeedee, Gourgeist, Chansey Shuckle, Meowstic, Cali Ice. I need to watch this replay.
I can tell you exactly what happens. I can just tell you, by looking at the screen, I can tell you what happens. There is a chance that we end up with a Prankster Shuckle or a Trick or Treat on Chansey.
Alright, so they're playing against opponent leads Zacian and Indeedee against Indeedee Cali. You go follow me, Zacian substitutes. Opposing Indeedee in prisons, we set up Trick Room. Okay. Calyrex then proceeds to get one shot by Behemoth Blade. They bring in Chansey Shuckle, Guard Split. Behemoth Blade does approximately 3%. Now we Power Split with the Zacian.
Now Shuckle hits like a truck.
See, here's the thing, though. They have this Chansey, and they have Minimize on it, but they're playing against Sacred Sword Zacian.
Let me tell you, as someone who tried to do that, sometimes it's not even enough. Sometimes Sacred Sword is not enough to get through that Chansey.
Oh, it did not do anything. It did 10%.
Yeah.
Wow, that's wicked.
That team is sick. I'm not playing it anytime soon.
Lando, Rillaboom, Zacian, Ensign. Who was it that was playing Pelipper Zacian? There was a tour this past week that was won by Pelipper.
I
cannot remember who it was.
I cannot remember.
I bet I can find out if you want to vamp for a minute.
I found another rain team with Pelipper, Kingdra, Zacian.
Love it.
It also has Rillaboom, Ferrothorn, and Entei. I found a Zamazenta team.
Uh-huh.
We've got Zamazenta, Kangaskhan, Gastrodon, Volcarona, Incineroar, and Dragapult. I have no idea what this team is doing. But, more power to them. Found an Eternatus team. It's kind of boring. I found Scizor. Scizor's in the top 10.
Neat.
I found a Pincurchin. Paired alongside a Regieleki.
So Pelipper was won by Mike D'Angelo, in the the Latin America Grass Cup.
Nice.
Interesting. I like it a lot. So what else we got here?
Looking for unique Pokemon down here in the top 50. I found Grimmsnarl.
I know that's one you've been playing with here lately. What do you think?
It depends on your teams. Like, the teams that like Grimmsnarl are the teams that really, really want to draw the game out and play those longer games.
Okay.
So you actually get the benefit of all your screen turns and whatnot.
Are you playing Light Clay?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we could get 8 turns, swap it out, do some stuff, bring it back in, set up more screens, treat it like a Tornadus, kind of.
Gotcha.
Also, being immune to taunt is kind of nice, too.
You want to talk about Grimmsnarl, but you skipped over Oranguru.
Eh.
It does, like, one thing. You pair it next to Cali Ice and click Instruct.
Yeah, it's literally all it does. That's why it's not interesting.
It's really cool when it happens, and your opponent becomes really sad.
Yeah, that's about it. It's not very interesting, though.
Did you mention this Kangaskhan team?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought so, but I couldn't remember, man.
Shedinja's in the top 50. Shedinja was the deep dive on Friday.
I did see that.
And then Calyrex Ice is right behind it.
I'm watching this replay of this top-rated Eternatus team. See if it does anything cool. Please don't be offensive.
It 100% is.
Well, they're slow because they got outpaced by a Landorus.
They eat that Earth power, okay?
I mean, it did alright. It did like 65%.
Not bad.
And we didn't KO with Dynamax Cannon.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
I feel like that's not a very good match.
Turnus, you really need to hit recovery here. Oh, you don't have it. Gotcha.
Kaboom! You're dead.
Now they bring in Landorus. Granted, now we have Tailwind up. We fake out their Insane. Their Insane can't fake out us. Dynamax Cannon picks up the Landorus. Okay. So now it's Insane versus Eternatus. I didn't even see our opponent had it too.
Goodness.
But we still have Tailwind up. So what they should do here is protect with Eternatus and like Parting Shot off of our Eternatus. And then Dynamax Cannon isn't able to pick up their Eternatus. Then Tailwind is installed out. We have Whimsicott for sure in the back, and we probably have Landorus as our last one if I was to guess based on like the rest of this team. They have Rotom Wash and Bronzong, which is like obviously really unique as well. But
notably, these are all things immune to ground.
Yeah, exactly. So it could be heat proof.
I doubt it.
I doubt it, but it could.
Levitate's too good, man.
It's really good. Especially in a format that's aiming to beat up Incineroar.
Oh, yeah.
You mentioned this Pincurchin team, right?
Yep. You're just talking about everything I already talked about.
Look, man, I'm scrolling. I'm seeing cool things. I wanted to talk about them. Did you talk about this Grimmsnarl Eternatus Aegislash team?
Yep.
This is just like taking our two teams and slapping them together.
They just mashed them together, yeah.
So, I got a whole lot of nothing else to say, man.
I think people take this episode and get reignited into Series 10. It's a really cool format. If you just get past all the Zacians and Xerneas teams, if you figure out how to beat those with your Pokemon, then
just play low ladder. You never run into them.
Even if you just like want to play high ladder, you can figure out ways to beat them. Like,
for sure.
Zacian has become this stall game. Did you know that? Zacian's starting to play longer games than most of these other Pokemon, which is hilarious. You don't think about this Pokemon being a hyper-offensive threat, but also just playing long stall setup games.
I'm currently watching the Eternatus Aegis team. Install Eternatus.
Oh, goodness. Well, we ain't got time for that one. You can watch that in your own time.
So, closing thoughts, man. I've really genuinely enjoyed our time with Series 10 so far. And I understand that people need a break from time to time. People need to, take time to reassess and, take breaks. Breaks are good. I am never going to tell you that it is incorrect for you to not take time for your mental health. If you feel like you are completely struggling and it is mentally affecting you, take a break. It is okay.
Yep.
But come back with the idea that, it is okay to not succeed at first. As long as you are learning something, it doesn't matter what game you're playing.
Yeah.
As long as you are learning something from the games that you are playing, you are trending in the right direction. I have preached that 100 times before, and I'll preach it 100 times again.
Yep. Mental health breaks are good. Just taking a break from the game in general, even if you just aren't enjoying it anymore, is just a good thing. There's no point in forcing the game if you're not having fun. That's just kind of my mindset. For a long time, VGC wasn't fun for me. I'm having a lot more fun in Series 10, though, so this is why I'm trying to play more. It just kind of sucks that everybody that I want to play with is not playing anymore.
Yep. But,
anywho, I think we're done here.
All right, man. So, as always, everyone, make sure you like, comment, subscribe if you're listening on YouTube. If you're not, go ahead and follow that link down in the show notes and head on over there and do all that good stuff. We have a ton of content going up every day of the week. I think we should be surpassing 450 videos. Is that right?
We are already past that and working towards 500.
Cool. So we'll probably be over 500 by the end of October. Is that right?
Something like that. I don't know.
Pretty close.
I don't know how math. I don't do math, even though I solved the math problem that was posted in the server in 2 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, you and Aaron went ham.
I was like, I got it real quick, and then Aaron got it right behind me, and I checked his work for him, and it's like, yep, you're good. And then he was trying to figure out if there's another way to do it. I'm like, no, there isn't. There's only one right answer for this one.
So that being said, if you want to partake in math trivia for some reason, if that's up your alley.
Math is always up my alley.
We have our community Discord as well. It's where you get to interact with Carl and myself and everyone else involved with the podcast, from fans of it to everyone in between. So make sure you come and join that. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at LR Lessons, myself at Mr. Missouri 25, Carl at Musical VGC. Carl and I are both on Twitch. You can always follow us there. If you're really generous, you can always subscribe to us as well. My streaming schedule is very lackluster right now, but it's something I want to pursue in the future. It's just not something that's been
viable.
easy to obtain at this point. But life goes on.
We forgot to talk about the Oreos.
I forgot about the Oreos.
We forgot to talk about the Oreos and the scalping of the Oreos. I was just looking at your background and was just like, oh, there's some pretty cool Pokemon there. And then I saw the group and I was like, oh yeah, the Oreo thing.
I don't even...
Just sending us off on our tangent. I'm good at this.
What's going to be even better is we're just going to completely ignore it. And people are going to be so confused about what we're talking about.
Yep. That's gonna be great.
Well, let's see. YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Discord. Go and check out our website at lrlessons.com. If you are interested in writing for us, by all means, please reach out to either Carl or myself. You can always do that via Discord, Twitter. You can email us. That's always down in the show notes as well. We're actively looking for people to make content with us. So if that is something up your alley, by all means.
Yep.
Anything else on the way out today, man?
Nope. I think that's it.
Okay. So that's going to do it, everyone. Have a fantastic day, and we'll see you later in the week with some more Littleroot lessons. Have a good one, everyone. Peace.